There's DeGale, Chris Eubank Jr. press conference. Yeah. First of all, the sound quality was horrible, kind of sucky. Then the whole thing about Groves, George Groves was a big talking point, man. And Paul Malignaggi and Chris Eubank Sr., they went in, you know? That was their chance to talk that shit, you know? Spice it up. Junior, he's kind of boring. Like every time he tried to trash talk James DeGale, he kind of would lose. Because how can he like really talk down James DeGale when he achieved so much more than Chris Eubank Jr.? It was really a middleweight. You know what I mean? All these matchups at 168 are odd. And Paulo Malignaggi, man, what is he, an advisor? There was a debate about George Groves being on the commentary team or something, somehow involved in the broadcast, as a former opponent of DeGale and Eubank. Yeah, man, and I guess they were blaming each other for vetoing, I guess, Groves' association. Regardless who said Groves couldn't be on the broadcast, both of them, they fear the Saints' blessing. You know? The way Groves got cobra'd, they don't want that blessing. He got a lot of shine, a lot of recognition. Main talking point. James DeGale, he was kind of under-promoted, I feel like. I don't know, you know? I don't know how the UK really stomached him. But I feel like he was like a Prince Nassim type of character, still is. Looked a little shot in his last couple of fights. The way he talks a little bit, you know? Even a shot James DeGale beats Chris Eubank Jr. Even Mama's Boy, the sparring partner of Chris Eubank Jr. picks James DeGale. Even English, he picks James DeGale. Knowledgeable boxing fans were calling Chris Eubank Jr. like a force to be reckoned with. For these coming years, we're in them. It's the present. Like they're talking crossroads fights now. The loser has to retire. Yeah, work rate and conditioning can only take you so far. Chris Eubank Jr. is not a bad fighter. He can definitely hang on world level, but he hasn't proven yet that he can beat a world level fighter. And even the world level fighters that he has lost to, are they really proven winners at world level themselves? James DeGale, at least he can say that when he has stepped up, he usually hasn't disappointed up till recently. Maybe that's a normal decline. He's 33 years old. But like as much as people talk about pedigree when fighting Chris Eubank Jr., I don't necessarily see James DeGale as like a master technician or anything, you know? I think if you can play the point fighting game with Andre Durrell, you probably are more skilled than a Chris Eubank Jr. Even at his best, more of an unconventional athleticism base. He's pretty rugged, man. Watch those Lucian Bute fights, that Bado Jack fight. Like a lot of what he does actually is work rate. So it's gonna be interesting, man. I think if there's a chance to show his superior technique, it's this matchup, you know? For a lot of years, people have called him actually a slap boxer. So when I talk about unconventionalism, it's, yeah, man, movement based, I'd say. He has been lacking actually in effective movement. A lot of relying on laying on ropes and stuff, what he could afford early in his career. And what seemed more like showboaty moves is now more out of necessity. I don't know if he has issues necessarily with his legs. He says he has shoulder issues. And his right hook actually is a very potent weapon when 100%, you know? Anyway, man, hey, I picked James DeGale. I don't think Chris Eubank Jr. is a middleweight, you know? A super middleweight, I'm sorry, he's a middleweight. But I like that little back and forth between Paulie and Chris Eubank Sr. You know?
Have you stayed off of the substances, James?
Well, okay now.
Like he was flat out telling on fucking James DeGale, you know? Saying he had seen him with a drink and shit. Yeah, that was funny. English, man, he's entertaining, this guy, you know? Fucking English, because that's what he wants to be called and that's what I'm gonna call him. But he has doubts in Chris Eubank Jr. and that should tell you a lot. He said he's embarrassed about the comments he made prior, you know what I mean? Junior's gonna end up better than Floyd Mayweather. All that. You know? And he has doubts about this fight, so... yeah, man. I don't know. Nate Vasquez, huh? That seems like settling, you know? Nate Vasquez had his turn to talk, you know? Hating on Midwest fighters, I believe. He gets into a little back and forth with Paulie, getting all confused. Yeah, but not when James DeGale fought James DeGale. You mean George Groves?
DeGale also got beat by James DeGale.
By George Groves.
Yeah, he got beat by Groves.
And the ugly dude in the middle, man, talking about sparring, tried to incite something because it worked when he brought it up in the Stevern Joyce press conference the day earlier. He's just desperate, man. Yeah, what about the sparring? Don't you want to scream at him? Aren't you an animal that I can just incite to anger with bringing up sparring stories? How about you talk about the sparring? I didn't tell you to listen to the shit, so subscribe and like. Peace out.
James DeGale is levels above Chris Eubank Jr. in all the skillful attributes of boxing. Boxing is a skill, and James has got it in every single department. He's in great shape physically and mentally, and on the night, Chris can bring all the mental strength, willpower, drive he needs, but he hasn't got the skill to beat James DeGale. Fact.